would like to continue working with qualitative data, that categorical data. Another graphical representation of qualitative data are pie charts, or pie graphs, however you would like to mention them. This divides the circle into different sectors or area based on the proportion to the frequency. Looking at that relative frequency that we've calculated, if I round the relative frequency to 2 decimals and then change it from a decimal into a percentage by multiplying it by 100, so I can take the relative frequency, multiply it by 100, I'll get the percentage. And you notice here I've just rounded them all to whole percentages. In order to actually graph a pie chart, what we need to do is we need to get the relative frequency, and we take that relative frequency and we multiply it by 360. This will give me the number of degrees for each piece. Because think about it, a pie is a full circle. It is 360 degrees. And so whenever I look at it, let's say for instance the brown of our M&Ms was approximately 27%. Our relative frequency for brown was 0.26, let me look back, 0.267. Okay? If I take that relative frequency, 0.267, and I multiply that by 360 degrees, I am going to get that my piece of the pie here is going to be 96.12 degrees, about 96 degrees. So you'll notice here 1/4 of this is 90 degrees, and so I've added on a little bit more. And we can do that all the way around. We can find the number of degrees. This one's 96 degrees. And then yellow is actually 79 degrees. Let's see. Red is 72 degrees. The orange is 46.8, so 47 degrees. This one, the blue, is 25 degrees. And the green is 40 degrees. And so I could actually get a protractor and draw it out and things. There are different ways on computers to help us draw it out. Most of the time what we want to do is we want to take a pie chart and interpret it. So if I look at this pie chart, what is the most popular M&M color? Well, looking at this, if I don't have the raw data, I can still look at it and say that brown M&Ms is the most popular color. It also asks what percentage represents this color. That brown M&Ms is the most popular color with 27%. What is the least popular color? Well, the least popular color, the smallest percentage, is this one, which is blue. And right now I'm just going to put the answers. I'm not going to place them in sentences. I highly recommend that you practice your sentences. What percentage represents this color? 7%. What percentage represents the color red? Well, if I look up here, and you'll notice over here there's a legend. Brown does actually represent brown. Yellow does actually represent yellow. Sometimes they don't actually represent the actual colors. So make sure you look at this legend to make sure and see what they actually represent. So what percentage represents the color red? That would be 20%. I want to add a couple of questions here. If a bag has 50 M&Ms in it, how many orange M&Ms would there be? There are two different ways of solving this. Some of you have worked with percent proportions, and some of you just want to multiply the number by the percentage. Either way. So I want to show both ways. The first way I'm going to set it up is the percent proportions. Percent proportions is where we do the part over the whole is equal to percent over 100. The percentage always goes over 100. So if I'm looking at orange, my percentage is 13 out of 100. That's equal to how many are in the bag in total? 50. That's my whole. I'm going to solve for the part. Whenever I look at percent proportions, I'm going to do what we call cross multiply. I'm going to get 100x is equal to 13 times 50, which is 650. And I will then divide by the number attached to the variable. And so I get x is equal to 6.5. So there are between 6 and 7 M&Ms that are orange in this bag. You can round up if you want and just say 7. This one's not a nice whole number, but that is one way to solve this. Another way is if we just look at our percentage. So I have 13% of 50. I want to change this 13% into a decimal. The of I'm going to change to multiply of 50. You multiply 0.13 by 50 and you will still get 6.5. So make sure that you have been able to look at percents, percent proportions, how to find the percentage of a number. This is a way of helping us read through our pie charts, which is extremely helpful if we have a pie chart and we can find the percentage or find the number, such as our salaries. What percentage do we spend on food? What percentage do we spend on rent? What percentage do we spend on entertainment? If I have a check that is $2,000, how much can I spend on food if I use that particular percentage makeup? Those are things that we want to talk about and be able to calculate using pie charts. Practice drawing one or two pie charts and then practice analyzing some of them, and then let me know if you have questions.